Hello and welcome to coverage of the Magic Online Community Cup. Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Brian David Marshall. Randy Buehler standing by in the red zone as well. And we've got the first match here of our 8 booster pack sealed. And it's actually between our 2 individual point leaders coming out of day 1. Now this is a team event, so there's not a lot of emphasis on individual points. But hey, I mean, I want to know who's doing well. Paul Cheon from the community team, Humph on Twitter.
World team champion.
World team champion, had a great run in the mid to late-ish 2000s, took some time off, started a family, had a job out of the country, is now back working for Channel Fireball and back on the Pro Tour.
Right, yeah, qualified for Pro Tour Contest here by virtue of Grand Prix Portland.
Yeah, popular streamer as well. Oh, not this again. Ryan Spain, Magic Digital Designer. You can take a look at some of his air quotes credentials here.
So he is the mastermind behind the Limited Resources podcast.
Yes.
He is clearly able to grow a better beard than Marshall Sutcliffe. This is 2 weeks growth for you.
Yeah.
And obviously he's better at basketball.
Obviously. But he actually, though, is the point leader.
Yeah.
Coming out for the Magic Online Wizards team. So good for him. A strong performance from Ryan. He's always been a strong Magic player. So no surprise to see him crushing here. But he is a friend of mine as well, so I'm even though I want the community team to win, I'm happy to see Ryan doing that.
Ryan is going down to looking to go down to 4 cards here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he's going to keep a 5-card hand and hope for the best on the play.
Now, what is Paul's got a Guildgate, a Forest, and a Signet. Now he's also just drawn Kadama's Reach, so got things underway for Paul to be able to start resolving kind of whatever he needs to resolve here.
For the record, Paul has all 5 colors already.
Yeah.
Lots of all 5 of them. Legacy weapon, no problem.
Yep, he can go get white.
Yeah, so if Legacy Weapon comes to the top, he is going to be able to do it.
Here's Kadama's Reach, and Ryan's not going to be happy to see this. It just means that doom is on the horizon. So not only all 5 colors, also just straight up 5 mana he's going to get to untap, but a timely force there for Ryan.
Yeah, so this is going to let him play his Fertile Ground.
And now all of a sudden he's got mana.
Yeah, and he can go to work.
Though he can't quite cast that Kitchen Finks this turn. The Lagak Lizard is going to have to hang back along with the Worm and the Worship as well. Here's Sea Beyond. Is he digging for Legacy Weapon?
Obviously digging for Legacy Weapon.
Can't cast it yet anyway. He's actually going to ship back a land here. Gosh, he's got a Faith Fetters too. And here's Fertile Ground.
Like,
I think Cheon's like 90% to win from here.
Yeah,
like,
here comes
he's got all the tools he needs.
Oh.
And he's got Archers here. It's 2 unreached Death Touch.
See Spined Worm here?
It's a lot less enticing with a Death Toucher on the other side of the table. Maybe just go for Finks.
I mean, you use your mana. Use up your mana here. Like, I mean, what if he draws like, a removal? I mean, obviously, I don't know if he has any super cheap removal, but. Yeah. So there, he does play the Spined Worm.
Are you ready for this?
Bam! What is that? What card is that?
It's Hermetic Study on a Death Toucher. No big deal.
The combo.
Oh, no.
So, yes, Enchanted Creature has deal 1 damage to target creature or player. So,
But what creature's it on?
a Death Toucher.
So he just made a machine gun.
So yeah. So Ryan is going to need to find some way to deal with that before he can, ever play another creature.
Right. And in Ryan's deck, that's pretty rough because his creatures are kind of generally just big, dumb green and red creatures that are just going to get mowed down.
And then the Living Airship is going to work. Let's see. Maybe the Gouging Shaman here.
You know what?
Or Savage Gorilla with the mana up. Well, it's got to be not something sick, but still.
Sorry.
Savage Gorilla. This card is sweet.
Why are there blue and black mana symbols on a green card? That is sweet.
Oh, but Flame Slash to the top of Ryan's deck to get the 2-for-1.
Okay.
Except that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll ignore past transactions for this one and just call it a 2-for-1. And it looks like he gets followed up with Kitchen Finks.
Kitchen Finks or the Hill Giant.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The Lagak Lizard.
Yeah.
Kitchen Finks it is.
Yeah.
We're doing okay here.
But the Flyer's going to keep bombing away here.
Oh my God, I'm getting hit for one. No. Oh, violent.
Going to do a lot of card highlighting here because.
I'm thinking, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I need you to, man.
There we go.
Like, the sets I know real
Right,
well.
this is
but-
get a look at Dowsing Shaman. This is return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand.
So he can get that
He's
study
getting that
back?
Hermetic Study back, yeah. And it's going to take a turn or so. Spore Sower is valid.
But at least he doesn't, like, Ryan doesn't care about the Hermetic Study that much if it's not on a death touch.
Right,
creature.
right. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. You're investing 3 turns of incremental card advantage to get your
Yeah, Savage
token.
Gorilla is a lot better when you can stack
I
damage.
guess you can just sort of let them build up until he can find an answer, until he can make
cards
enough
you
of them.
remember. All right.
Oh, Nanchico Shaman for Cheon. I love that card. It's got a lot of mana here, too.
Yeah, definitely going to be suspending that guy.
Yeah. Spend that guy, Faith Fetters. You don't care about any of these, right?
No, I mean, the 4/4 could be an issue down the line for him. Probably not. I think it's just about finding his big haymakers now. I mean, Cheon has the world here. He's got all the mana he needs and all the colors he needs.
Oh,
has,
I missed
one
my
of those-
attack.
Remember to call out your game win?
Awkward.
Oh, so Cheon actually missed his attack there.
Magical's hard.
Did he?
Oops.
Or is he just gonna? Does he want to just sit back
No.
on the living?
No, he
Oh.
said, oops, I missed my
Oh,
attack.
okay.
Awkward.
And he meant that.
Yes.
Wizard will offer the sort of semi-trade with Savage Gorilla.
Project. I mean, Lagak Lizard. Lizard Giant.
Yeah, no attacks from Ryan.
Get back to study.
Yeah. Because why not? Come on, Legacy Weapon. I just want to see a Legacy Weapon.
I kind of do too. Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't get the final count on how many lands Paul was playing.
This is pretty sweet. Ryan did
Yes.
mulligan to 5
Okay.
here and has made this a real game. Like, he is drawing fully alive here again. Cheon gets to keep pecking away in the air with that 2/3 flying, but doesn't have any great attacks otherwise.
And at some point, that worship is going to be a problem for Paul until he finds his Legacy Weapon.
Right. So Ryan's looking for, like, spores? Is that what
He's looking for Sprout Swarm.
Yeah. Although the pinger, again, can help at least contain that for a while.
Not really.
It gets out of control.
It gets out of
quickly.
control that quickly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got Convoke.
No, I know. I know what it does. I'm just saying, like, at least Cheon gets to take out one every turn cycle to give him a couple more draw steps to try to find that legacy.
So, so we're gonna Savage Gorilla the Spore Sower. and then ping it.
Yeah. So what wins in a heads-up battle? Spores or legacy weapon? Like if they each drew those, like let's say he draws legacy weapon and then Ryan draws spores, who wins?
It's actually pretty tight, but I think spores. Yeah.
Rashad says not close. Spores.
Okay.
I'm wondering who has inevitability. You know, who,
Right.
I mean, obviously they don't have those cards right now. We're talking drudge beetles and Lagak lizards for the time being, but they do have that high end available in that deck.
And yeah, despite this all start, I mean, Ryan's only at 15 here. Oh, is that a life death?
Yeah, life and death.
I do love Tidewater Minion. So we've got a little bit of a machine gun going on here again. Tidewater Minion on with the Hermetic Study. He's able to.
He can get it back now.
Well, no. Tidewater Minion lets you untap.
I meant with life and death.
Oh, sure.
Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You get back his Death Toucher.
But the Hermetic Studies are already.
Right, but if he
in play.
can have it die, he can just get the Hermetic Study back.
Oh, sure.
He could just brazenly jam the Nantuko Shaman
Yeah.
into the red zone.
Well, with the Tidewater guy, he can actually have it commit suicide. It can shoot itself twice if he really wants to.
oh yeah.
That's definitely going a little too deep, I think.
All right, here is Worship.
Although maybe not.
I'm not sure. It's tempting. I saw the same life death to get back the Death Toucher line that Marshall saw.
So he
Paul
shoots
decides shooting his
the
opponent.
Kitchen Finks,
Oh, okay.
untap, shoot the Kitchen Finks again. He's like, I'm going to just get to work clearing this. Yeah, you got your Kitchen Finks back. Like, I mean, yeah, he's pretty close to also being able to just sort of swarm, right? Like, he just has to finish off the beetle at the end of Ryan's turn. Untap, he can shoot the Kitchen Finks, Faith's Fetters, the Lizard, and start bashing in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Ryan's going to make that Drudge Beetle big, but... Now, the Worship, how big of an issue is that for Paul? Like, is that the kind of question that it's like, Paul just has to say, do I have an answer for that in my deck? Can he
Kill
beat
all the
Ryan?
creatures?
Well, I mean, he
Just
can
mow everything down?
Yeah, I mean, he can eventually just make the play of killing his Nantuko Shaman, regrowing.
He may actually need the Death Touch combo to beat the Worship, is
Yeah.
the point.
I
Yeah.
see. Gotcha.
Yeah,
He can get it.
Yeah, well, he's also going to attack into Lagak Lizard here. If Ryan blocks anything, then he can...
and again, if he gets a legacy weapon, yeah, that's also obviously gonna.
He can take out the Worship
Yeah.
with that, yeah. But in the meantime, it looks like Ryan's going to find himself at that one life pretty quickly here.
Protect me, Guerrilla Warrior. Yeah, Paul's already down to 5 here.
Yeah, Ryan's down to 5.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Ryan, yeah. An appearance by Saul. Dragon Tree Speaker. This card is just one of the best.
That is one of the best.
He just went all the way up on that guy.
Well, 4 so far.
Yeah.
Sporloth Ancient here for Ryan. Every creature counts here with that Worship out.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just going to whittle down. I think he is going to end up having to kill his shaman.
Or take possession.
Jeez.
Like, my worship.
Randy found a better play.
Yeah. I mean, the top of the deck
Sitting
found
on
the
top
better
of the
play.
library,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, take possession it is.
Man, Paul's deck is sweet.
Yes, sir.
It is sweet.
Ryan conserves a little clock. And doesn't make him go through the mechanics of shooting him for the final point. No. I mean, a pretty good game for Ryan considering 5 cards on the play.
Yeah, he
You
was
know.
and with a tough keep. I mean, he kept the one lander
Right.
and put up a reasonable fight there, drawing live through the midsection of the game there. But ultimately, Paul overwhelmed him on both cards and power level. I mean, his stuff was just doing better.
Anything else going on in the red zone, Randy?
Yeah, I've been watching Erin Forsyth, who has reminded me of another card in Apocalypse that I doubt Marshall had the pleasure of playing with or against. But Coalition Honor Guard.
Oh,
Do you remember the flag bearer?
Wait, is this the 2/4 flag bearer guy?
Yes.
Look at the trolly smile on Rashad's
I
face.
hate that card.
So did everyone who ever played with Apocalypse. So
I
it's-
drafted it. I played against it.
Okay.
And 3 times in one match, I targeted it on accident. 3 times my opponent's like, you can't do that. I'm like, what is
You're
wrong
like, yeah.
with this card?
Right, I was like, I'll
This
bolt
isn't
you
me.
then. Oh, no,
Yeah.
you still have to do it
No,
for the
it's
honor
still that,
guard.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
almost on cue, Magic Online just popped up. MTG Erin wins. Yeah, Erin had the Coalition Honor Guard, so it's 3 and a white for a 2/4. And what the flag bearers, there's 3 of them in Apocalypse. What they say is, if your opponent can target a flag bearer, he must target the flag bearer. So I'm watching poor Frank Lepore. He's got an Ichor Slick. He wants to kill something. It's -3/-3. He's got a Sarkhanval, so he has to take possession of the flag bearer with Sarkhanval long enough to Ichor Slick something else. Then, of course, Honor Guard just attacks and kills Sarkhanval anyway. It was all ugly. Yeah, Coalition Honor Guard. And such an Erin Forsyth card. He is the master troll.
That is the Forsythiest.
And Coalition Honor Guard is the kind of card that, as good as it was, if you go away from the format and remember that card and come back to it, and your opponent perhaps has not played against it, it is even better. Right, like when you have any kind of informational advantage on how a Coalition Honor Guard works against your opponent, it's. I got a chance to do a story. We did a storyline draft a couple years ago in Connecticut, and it was drafting through the different blocks, and the finals was Invasion block, and I just ended up with 2 Coalition Honor Guards, and just just that frustration from your opponents, like wait a minute. Can't I do anything?
No.
No.
No, sorry.
You can certainly tap my Coalition Honor Guard with that tapper, and you can certainly tap it again with your other tapper. Excellent job.
I hate that card. I was on the bad end of this. That card is misery.
You are alone in this room in your hatred of that
No,
card.
I am not.
In
Everybody
this room,
hates
show
that card.
of hands in this room.
I don't like the card.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, it was too good for common. It should have been
sure.
common. I think that the 1/1 flag bearer for 2 would have been fine at common.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure,
see,
sure.
But having
Eat
2 of them
something.
at common was just annoying. There should also not have. The match ended now, but Aaron won. Yeah, I think that having 2 common flag bearers was annoying. Just there were too many tappers in Invasion too. Shouldn't have been quite so many tappers in Invasion.
All right, we're back in our main feature here, though, and it looks like Ryan's got to a better start here. Drudge Beetle is following up a Pyrite Spellbomb, but a Signet to kick things off for Paul says that he's going to have.
We got a Sprout
colors of
Swarm
mana.
mirror. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yes,
Both players have Sprout Swarm.
although Sprout Swarm is currently in Paul's hand and not in Ryan's. Now, Paul also has Kadama's Reach again, so he's going Signet into Reach. How bad is this for Ryan? Like, is he dead? Like, if you see that Sprout Swarm, is it just
Pretty much.
can't interact with it? You have to, counter it? Or, how do you beat a Sprout Swarm? Like, how does it...
duress.
You duress it
countering
away.
it, duressing it, yeah.
And that's not happening here.
So there you see Kadama's Reach. Reveals a mountain and a plains.
Maybe the public was just trolling, and they picked the packs that had all the most annoying limited cards from throughout time. We'll vote for the Coalition Honor Guard pack. We'll vote for the Sprout Swarm pack.
Could be. Here's Naturalize.
Oh, he's going to naturalize
cool.
the Signet, which is going to be.
There used to be 5 colors for that legacy weapon, but no black.
If that hits the table, though, Ryan's going to be like, maybe they should have kept this
I
Naturalize.
should have kept the Naturalize for that? Maybe.
He's going to suspend the Nintuko Shaman here.
Yeah, just sort of keep things moving forward. He's not under any real pressure.
No,
the
it's just
2/2
yeah, it's just the
Beetle.
Drudge Beetle. Although that Rapacious one, if it it's a couple turns away, I mean, I might consider cycling that Spell Bomb here. Oh, I guess he can just play his Spike Changeling.
War Spike Changeling.
Or Spike Changeling, yeah.
Yeah, that seems good. So Shaman's going to come off a suspend, draw Paul an extra card. Keep things moving forward. He finds Savage Gorilla.
Again, needs black for that, though, to use the ability.
Right.
Otherwise, it is just a snid shape.
Snid Gorilla.
Yeah. You don't attack with
Paul
the Shaman
doesn't
there
attack
into
there.
the Changeling?
That's interesting. The Changeling
What-
didn't have mana available to get first strike.
And your Shaman's just going to die to the Spell Bomb.
Or make a not great block. All right, so Ryan
All right.
has a nice surge forward here, taking out both creatures and delivering 5 damage to Paul Cheon, dropping him down to 9. This could get interesting. He's got that
Anyway, he's 1 mana away
pump
from
spell.
also having a packed mana to make a...
I'm just looking at the swamp that came off the top as
Oh.
the 7th land.
Oh, boy.
That seems
Is it too
relevant.
slow? That's the question. Probably not. I think he's going to have it in the nick of time, but I mean, if he takes this turn off to cast Legacy Weapon, he's going to be sitting on 4 life. Like, not good for Paul.
I think it's actually too slow.
So Nate, I am not winning the game, but I am doing it.
Yeah, I think
Paul said
thinks
he's not winning the game,
Yeah.
but he said he could. But he's also got Sprout Swarm here too, right? So
Right. Does Paul has to show him a legacy weapon.
Ryan was getting a kick out of it.
He's like, oh, that's a good, that's an interesting use of my Naturalize. Yeah, but with
need you
that
to whip for
chorus
like
of might,
2 turns.
he's going to be able to close this out in 2 turns almost, no matter what.
But the Chorus of Might's not really
Oh,
super live here, right? Ooh. Guerrilla Warrior. Oh. Take possession. Does that swing the tide back in Paul's favor? So take possession steals the Guerrilla Warrior. Paul's at 4.
Yeah.
And it looks like the pump spell should
Yeah.
be able to finish him off here. Chorus. Target whatever's not blocked.
Target what's blocked. Doesn't really matter.
3, 4, 5, you're right, it doesn't actually matter. Gives trample anyway.
Yeah.
I'd still target what wasn't
Yeah.
blocked.
Just in case of a
would
giant
be
growth.
blow out.
You don't know how
Yeah.
many giant growths are in the format.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's plenty. 8 booster seal. Huh, interesting. He did actually target the Drudge Beetle, but it won't matter. And Ryan wins the game. Wow. Legacy Weapon and Sprout Swarm are no match for 3-2 vanilla gorillas.
So there you see the players sort of, oh, Legacy Weapon just came out of,
Look at Ryan. He's like, what do I do about this?
Legacy Weapon is in the sideboard right now. extra swamp coming in, mountain coming out. So it looks like maybe he's just going for a less. He's like, oh, Ryan's deck is pretty efficient at just beating down. I might not have time to dirtle around with all these colors.
Yeah, these two players took a different line on this, right? Ryan took a more conservative, basically just a two-color deck with a small splash, where he's playing a curve. He's playing creatures that are going to be on curve. They have power and toughness, and they beat down. Cheon went for a 5-color build around Legacy Weapon and a bunch of value cards, and it looks like Cheon wants to sort of scale things back a little bit here. He's also seen Naturalize from
Naturalize, I think, was a big deal for him there.
I mean, if Ryan's going to be presenting a consistent, nice clock on Paul and has an answer to his inevitability, Paul's going to have to reconfigure what he's doing. He can't just rely on, well, just sort of hang around long enough to get Legacy Weapon going. Ryan now has an answer to it that he's seen, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him just cut it. Go for maybe a more consistent, like a 3-color deck that's more suited to playing against the type of thing
that looks like what he's doing. You know, he's got a little bit of. Looks like he's just going bug.
I like what he's done. I think that going deep to start is correct, but I think that when you need to scale it back, you need to scale it back.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to invest 7 mana in this Legacy Weapon when he has just like a green counter spell for it that he can play 2 turns after I cast it.
Yeah, and it's just always going to be, lurking somewhere in Ryan's library.
Yeah, and the chances of Ryan naturalizing anything other than Legacy Weapon after seeing it are pretty low.
Yeah, it's interesting. If Ryan figures that Paul's going to take it out, he will just fire it off on a Signet.
Well, he might now, right? Like, so Paul's taking enough time building his deck that he's got to be assuming that this is a major overhaul, and you would tend to believe that it's going to be going towards a more streamlined color.
I think you're right. Also, it is interesting because if Ryan uses a Naturalize on a Signet, it can damage Paul's ability to activate the Legacy Weapon anyway, so it's kind of like serving that role.
Right.
Okay, a 2-land keep here for Ryan.
Well, so truthfully, like, I think the combination of
And a 1-land keep for Paul.
like, yeah, that returns and then
And he's gonna be discarding.
Wow.
So he kept 1-land Fertile Ground Golgari Signet on the draw or the play? Did he choose draw?
On the play. He lost that last game. Unless
Well, I admit
Ryan
it.
I believe he was on the draw.
Yeah, he chose draw.
Yeah.
Sealed
Okay.
deck. I think that's a reasonable keep. You get Fertile Ground Signet 1-land on the draw.
On the
I think
draw,
is a
yeah.
good keep. I wouldn't keep it on the play, but I would on the draw. Did not work out though.
Yeah, Ryan had actually a similar hand, but it was a 2-land Fertile Ground draw, so he's got it all.
Ryan just shocks to the dome.
Oh, so he can
Oh,
get
good Bloodthirst,
going.
yeah.
Very aggressive. So Ryan has recognized that his opponent stumbled on mana, and he is going to put the pedal to the metal now, really hoping to draw a land, though, to get that Legac
Take-
Lizard going.
Take possession, gets discarded.
And here comes Legac Lizard, so 5 power on the battlefield now. And that 2-drop's going to get in repeatedly.
Oh.
Oh, no. Cheon's moving the discard again. He's even got a Nest Invader so that, he can even put up a blocker potentially early here, but ugh.
I mean, can't really block anything with the flanking of the.
No, he can't.
But yeah, sort of speed bump anyway.
Yeah, I like Ryan's line here. Look at his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a Flame Slash to kill basically any block.
Okay, discards the shadow creature.
And the Pact is 5 mana, right?
Yes,
the red
it is.
one. So he's got 5 mana now. And he's hitting for 5. So yeah, this is going to get ugly.
This is already gruesomely deformed.
Yeah, and there's another non-land for poor Paul Cheon, who just can't seem to find that. He doesn't need much. He needs any land off the top, and he hasn't found one in like 4 draw steps now.
I like Ryan. Ryan has his just finger poised over Cast Titan.
And that's going to bring Paul down to 2. Now Ryan's going to have to tap out to keep himself in the game here, but he's also got the Chorus of Might sitting there waiting to finish off Paul. I don't even think he's
Yeah,
going to need it.
he does not need it. Wow.
And then a few lands off the top for Cheon. So rough beats there for Paul Cheon.
Sorry for the
Keeps. I agree with you, Randy. A reasonable keep on the draw there, and just gets bricked off for multiple turns. And Ryan is able to use his strategy of a solid, maybe not as powerful as some of the other decks, but a baseline solid curve and just
Right.
beat down and get there. Removal creatures. He just kept it simple, and that was all he needed. Randy, what do we have in the red zone? Do you have a match queued up?
Yeah,
for us?
no, I've been watching a pretty interesting game between Aaron Forsyth and Frank Lepore. I told you about game 1 where Aaron's Coalition Honor Guard just wrecked shop. Well, game 2, he's still got a kind of trolly white permanent. He's got a Rune of Protection black in play. But Frank, over the last 2 turns, has played Sarkenval and used it to distribute +1/+1 counters, hasted up a Gorehouse Chainwalker, and this turn an Ancient Silverback. So Frank has all of a sudden turned it around. I thought Aaron was going to win this with Flyer. He's got an Opal Gargoyle, had an Angelic Page. But yeah, if you can get a look here, I don't think Aaron's actually dead yet, but that Silverback is definitely a problem now. Yeah, these guys have been going at it for a while. They've traded a lot of removal. I mean, Aaron has gone through an Ichor Slick, a Dark Banishing. He's had his Knight of Cliffhaven killed. He's had his Kavu Primarch killed, which had been fully kicked. Yeah, lots of removal on both sides. Oh, Devouring Light. Nice. That'll take care of Ancient Silverback. And now, yeah, you see the Rune of Protection stopping the black creature, so it's just the Gorehouse Chainwalker. Aaron falls to 1 from that attack. Frank down to 8, but I mean, Aaron last turn attacked. He's trying to keep Sarkenval in check. It's a tricky spot. Yeah, all of a sudden Frank built it up and was able to play the Chainwalker and the Sarkenval in the same turn to sort of surprise Aaron, and then follow up with the Silverback, hasting that up too. So Frank played it well, and they're going to be going to game 3 now. So that'll definitely be one to keep an eye on.
We're still here, don't worry.
I'm looking in on the match between Mariah, Pagliocco, and Dave Humphreys.
By the way, it's Mariah and Paul, as you can see on our screen there. Paul's jumped over from his bad beat match there.
Oh,
to help
nice.
out Mariah, so it's the true team aspect shining
Right.
through here.
Albino Troll. Very nice. Cold-Eyed Selkie. Dave Humphreys with a Cold-Eyed Selkie against Islands. Doesn't seem fair.
This round, by the way, 3 matches completed, all 3 won by Wizards.
Tom Ross, I believe, has a community win.
Oh, my bad. 3-1 to Wizards. Yeah, I see Tom's now.
Wow, still.
Still, maybe the comeback. Down 19, but now they're only down 13.
So, putting a couple of... this used to be a way to get 3 damage in. You know, if you could kill a Cathodian in combat. Used to have mana burn as part
Oh,
of...
right. But now, nothing.
No, now you just get an annoying pop-up that you still have mana pool. So, gets draw a card from Cold Eye. Selesnya Guildmage seems pretty sweet here.
Snaked up, has a fist. Ultimately just a 3/3 trample after all that, but Totem Armor's a thing, activated abilities are things. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is interesting. Etched Oracle on 4 must be.
Let's just take a look. You know, 4 is the magic number for Etched Oracle. You know, you want to be able to draw 3 cards.
Do you get to draw foil cards with a foil Etched Oracle?
Yes, you do.
Ooh, I like that.
There's the life-linking Stonefair Crocodile.
Sometimes lifelinking.
Sometimes life-linking, yeah.
If you got a little extra
Yeah.
mana floating around.
Flying life-linking, yeah, with Anna Disciple.
Disciple.
The Disciples were always the secret card in those
So that one
limited
gives
formats,
flying,
right?
and what else does it give? It's blue, tap flying.
There you go. -2, -0. So
Oh.
it's like, it's good. This was one of the cards that was just great on O and great on D. You know, you were able to sort of negate like a Bog Raider or something with it.
Oh, it's got to make attacking really
Yeah,
miserable.
yeah, absolutely.
Mariah has petrified plating. Wow, this thing is getting out of control. Selesnya Guildmage is in full battle cruiser mode. Now the Snake Umbra is the one that lets you draw cards when it hits, right?
Yes,
It turns it into an Ophidian.
it does. Here, well,
Do we have a clear attack here? I think we should. I guess we're at 9. Boo. That's no fun. You have a 5/5 trample with the Ophidian ability, and you can't attack.
yeah, I think
That is sad.
I think we're just going to see Etched Oracle go up in the air here. Cold Eyed Selkie go under the water here
Yeah.
and get you in 2 turns.
2-turn clock, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the most depressing things, though, is when you have to attack with your Etched Oracle instead of just drawing a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, this is a choice Dave Humphries has made. You know, he did this to himself. He could have easily.
This is a game 2, though.
He did this.
And
to
Mariah
himself.
won the first
Oh
game.
wow!
So
Okay.
this forces a game. Even if Pump does win this, it merely forces game 3.
He decided not to. Oh, not to go up in the. Oh, I guess Flying Shroud. He just decided to not.
What? Let her chump?
Yes.
What am
Maybe
I
he-
missing here, Randy?
He might want the Anti-Disciple on defense to make the Guild Mage attacks bad.
He's at 19.
Snake Umbra.
Welcome to the world of Dave Humphries.
Yeah.
Oh, he had plans for his blue mana. That's what's going on.
That's it. Yeah, he's got something huge here. Whoa, 7 mana tapped already. What is going on?
Is this a Cyclonic Rift?
No, because it's an X spell. He was sort of ticking down his mana there.
Some sort of Drain Life?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it's Crusher. He just tapped 7. That's why I was asking him, how do you want to pay for this, sir? All right, Ulamog's Crusher.
Yeah.
But that, of course, made him completely tap out
Yes.
here. And he just wants to get the Crusher going. It's bigger than anything on the other side, as it usually is. And then once you start getting the Annihilator 2 triggers going, it makes it so that your opponent just can't come back.
Yeah. And once you make your Crusher flying.
What just happened there?
She made a.
Oh,
she
she's
made
got that too?
She's, well, the Selesnya Guildmage.
Oh, the Guildmage. Okay,
right?
cool.
The second ability is
There we go.
put a Saproling into play. There are a lot of Saprolings in this 8-pack sealed format. Maybe that was the community theme. They look
Maybe.
for as many Saproling makers. Okay, Dave Humphries wins that game.
So does that give the match to Humphries, or does
No,
that
no.
blow things up?
Forces a game 3.
Okay.
And I've got Forsyth versus Frank Lepore, if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, let's do that.
Forsyth continues to troll, like the master troll that he is.
Uthden?
Oh, that would be perfect.
Oi, oi, oi.
Just, just the Coalition Honor troll.
Right. In the Grand Creature reboot thing that happened, did he get changed to a troll?
Let me check. Pretty sure he got
No,
changed to human.
no.
He's a human flag bearer. There he is. Yeah, Sarkenval, Mausoleum Turnkey just gave his life to defend Sarkenval right there. So Sarkenval is sitting on 6 counters.
Not anymore. How about some dragons? Oh, dragon! Boom!
Yeah.
Last time I checked, that's lethal. He gets to attack.
Let me tell you something. You do not
And
want...
destroy the evidence
Destroy the evidence, as has been called.
on a sanctuary. He hit a Karoo with it, too.
Oh.
There's some serious trolling going on both sides of the table.
Frank boarded in the only thing that could target something other than the flag bearer.
It's like, I just want to target something.
Yeah.
I just want my free will.
Oh, this is great. He's at 20?
Yeah, he was, like I said, he spent the last couple turns chump blocking to get Sarkenval built up to his ultimate.
So, is he just going to one-shot Erin here? Just boom?
I mean, Angelic Page flies, but
Wow.
It's like, ah.
Right, so he doesn't get to kill him this turn, but... Man, duress as well, just to clear the way.
took a Devouring Light.
Oh.
Which actually...
Oh, look at this!
Look at this guy! And it can't target the flag bearer! Like Lepore putting on a clinic! Takes Devouring Dynamite kills the non-flag bearer.
I still give him very low points for flavor.
I give him pretty high.
Actually,
savage beatdown.
Oh man, if you've ever played against Erin, you're clapping your hands right now. This is too good to be true.
Target your land, target you, target your angelic page. What flag bearer? That's awesome. Erin has sent a message. So about these cards you're casting.
I'm listening.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, this is just too good.
You're just leaving chat open. You feel like something might.
Pretty nice. Erin, that's great. This is too good. All right, well, I think that we know this one's over.
Yeah.
And it is.
Okay, second win for the community there.
Now we've got another
Erin
one queued
back
up
in
on.
his chair. What just happened to me?
Yeah,
Oh, that is the look of justice right there. Look at him.
Look at Frank in the lower left. He's just kind of smirking.
Oh, I think he's cackling.
I've got Cheon Plott versus Matthew Golgari here. Both players actually playing Golgari. Lattimore dead, Karaz the Guild Mage, and Sluiceway Scorpion.
Wow, that is super Golgari.
Yeah.
Here.
There's a Drudge Beetle in the graveyard.
Wow.
An actual giant growth. We were thinking about the existence of that card.
Flavor points going up.
Edge of Autumn got in the last possible turn to draw a card to go fetch a land here for Matthew Gregory.
So this round so far, Wizards won the first 3 matches that we had reported in, but Communities won the last 2 to start to rally here.
Yep, 3-2 Wizards so far.
Yeah, so this could be either team's round.
Beating him.
Day 9 is in battle mode here with both of his creatures. Now, I don't suppose he really would like to trade off, but he's got, what, 1 pump ability available here?
Sure, you're going to take a look at...
Yeah, so the first ability is the one I was referring to there, 3 mana. So yeah, he can pump a creature once, including itself if he needs to. And was there a block? No, he actually just pumped to get damage in. Wow,
Yeah.
that's aggressive. Ah, it's because he's got a backup creature as well with a Rift Sweeper. I don't think there's anything to hit, but it shouldn't matter. He can just play it as a 2/2 and keep the beats flowing. Again, as long as that cross of Guild Mage is around, it's pretty tough.
Right, and he's a black mana away from being able to activate it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, Slippery Karst only makes green, right? So
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what frame that is on Slippery Karst. Is it? Yeah, it just looks. I guess it just looks weird to me now.
Yeah, that's the old monocolored line frame.
Yeah. So Matthew took a turn off last turn to go get that mountain. So I'm assuming he's got something that he wants here. But
I'll tell you what he doesn't want, to take this beat down that
Well-
Plott's giving him, and he did find that second
Yes,
swamp
he
beating
did.
him. So this is getting a little ugly. But Matthew has 4 cards in his hand. He's got 6 mana, actually 7 mana available. You got to figure he's got
oh,
something.
here comes something. He's tapping that land.
I think he meant to.
Oh,
We're still in a declare attacker step here, so let's move to blocks. Now he's going to block. Now the question is, does he have a pump spell or something of his own? Because
or
Cheon...
consume strength. No,
What? Oh man, Cheon just let it happen. He must have something huge here. Because sinking 3 mana to keep your Guild Mage alive. Oh, baby.
He
He
did.
does have something huge. A dragon, as it were. So
What you
Jugon,
gonna do about this?
5/5 flying. There's other stuff, but it's a 5/5 flyer with only that and something else needs to get in there.
New commander deck. Rashawn and I have to leave. We have to go record a podcast right now.
Yeah. What'd you again do about this? I'm in. I want it. That's my new commander. So Matthew, Shatter pauses for a bit there, maybe reading the card.
So even if he can do something about this, it's going to distribute some counters to those other creatures.
Right, so basically this situation is that Matthew needs a sweeper here, right? That would solve all of his problems.
Yes.
Like
he
if he
needs
can find something to
damnation.
kill everything at once,
Right.
then the counters don't matter, and he's not facing any pressure. Damnation is one
He
option.
needs to have opened damnation in
Future
In
Sight.
Future Sight.
He is cycling Ickerslick.
Paying for Madness. I love that card.
But it's not getting him out of this mess.
No.
Like, that's lethal. So if that's all he has, he needs something here to kill at least one of these creatures to buy himself a turn. In fact, he has to kill the Scorpion. If the
Yeah.
Scorpion dies, he can scavenge it back onto Jugan. I don't see a lot of great ways out of this here. He clearly doesn't have a sweeper, or else he wouldn't have used his Ickerslick, so that's not it.
Could have been digging for a sweeper.
Good
Could have been digging for it. Yeah.
That's true. And just mised away the other creature there.
Ickerslick is just filthy. Wait, what game is this for? What's the game score here between Cheon and Matthew?
This is game 3.
Wow.
Warren Pilferers. That's still not going to do it. I think that Cheon actually has a Drudge Beetle in the graveyard, and he's 1 mana away from being able to scavenge it onto Jugan. Yeah, so he needs. If Cheon finds a land here, he wins. He's still in a good spot either way.
Cheon has basically said his favorite mechanic is, fat green creatures.
And he has it. He already had it anyway.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
it was
6
5
mana.
and a green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I miscounted. So he had it anyway, and there's 7, and that's going to do it. So Matthew actually
Slaughter
just...
Pact?
Yeah, Slaughter Pact's an option.
Nope.
And he doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Cheon wins one for the community, so now it's 3 wins apiece.
I've got a replay queued up for you before you start spoiling too many results.
Okay. Why don't we send it over to the red zone where Randy has got a replay for us. We still have 1 live match as well.
Yeah, you see a bunch of people huddled around.
Yeah, I've been watching the match between Helen Bergeau and Bjorn Andreasson, so let's see how this plays out. Pretty interesting game that went quite a while. Bjorn with the Wood Elves. Helen accelerating her board with the Fertile Ground. Kavu Primarch comes out, 3/3. Gaia's Embrace for the Kavu Primarch, potentially making it gigantic, but induced despair as a response, revealing the Centaur Omen Reader to kill it. So 2 for 1. Bjorn looking pretty good here so far. This Penumbra Spriter, though, Penumbra Spriter does some work. Penumbra Spriter 2/4 reach, so it's holding off the Frostwind Invoker already. And even if it eventually dies, you get another copy of the Penumbra Spriter back.
Oh, rapacious one.
Giant block of
That's one
Rapacious
of John
one.
Laux's favorite cards.
Yeah, and I think Helen is totally content to just sort of clean up the board there. Pick up the 2 for 1. Play Sporoloth Ancient. Dead Ringers
Oh my
takes out the
gosh.
Penumbra Spriter and the Sporoloth Ancient. They're both exactly the same 2 colors, mono green. But Penumbra Spriter's hanging out. This Halcyon Glaze can turn into a 4/4 flyer whenever Bjorn plays a creature. So it can potentially do some work, but again, Penumbra Spriter holding off the world. And now here's Sword of Fire and Ice.
Oh, jeez.
Penumbra Spriter picks up Sword of Fire and Ice and goes to work. Moving it over to the Mog War Marshal as well. Offense and defense. War Marshal gets in there.
Moving the sword around. There's a Tarmogoyf.
Yep, we saw
Oh.
the Tarmogoyf. Bjorn Andreasson opened one.
4/5.
Big.
Oh, Lobber Crew.
Yeah, Bjorn's kind of up against it. The spider with the sword. He's trying everything that he can. And at this point, the sword is protection from blue and red, and he's got a whole bunch of green creatures. So kind of an interesting... He thinks he can attack. He can a little bit.
I mean, that Frostwind Invoker is a big game.
Not quite as big as the sword.
Sure.
Yeah, Spider has reach anyway.
Yeah, the reach on the spider is definitely holding it off.
Lobber Crew, by the way, yes, approved.
Gorilla gets in there with the sword, trades for a couple of creatures. Bjorn doesn't want to let her just draw cards and deal damage, so I think these lines all make sense. But just new creatures keep picking up the sword, and then, oh, the Savage Surge!
Wow.
Very well named. Savage Surge was brutal there.
Even Augur can't even make her pick up the token.
Yeah. And now more reach, this time on the Lobber Crew. But that goes away with... So, quite the long game. Clock's getting down to it, but Helenia's up a game here. Volcanic Hammer. Yeah, and now the path is clear for Penumbra Spider wearing the sword. Whack. Congratulations. Helene Bergeau wins the match, puts up another W for the Wizards team.
She's on the
Very nice.
board.
She's on the board.
There you go.
I've got.
So it's 4-3 coming into our last match here.
Right. Yeah, I've got game 3 here between Dave Humphreys and Mariah.
So this is actually going to decide who, if a team wins this or if it's a tie for this round.
Yeah, and we've got a flying, trampling Moss Dog here.
Moss Dog Millionaire,
Yeah.
the greatest.
And Selesnya killed me.
Mariah really did build a battlecruiser deck.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, each time we've popped in, there's been
There were
17 auras on something.
there were a lot of Umbers in her Rise of Eldrazi pack.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she had the
and
Snake
Drake.
and Drake. Snake.
We need to make another deck now? Snake and Drake?
So Dave Humphreys is down to 3, and this is what 5 cards in hand. Are any of them going to be able to deal with this flying, trampling, somewhat damage resistant? The Umbra lets you. You sacrifice the Umbra.
Got to kill it twice.
You got to, bouncing it would be awesome here.
Sure.
That would be the ideal play.
But bouncing it out of the old Sultai mana base there with a little bit of blue floating around.
All right, something coming.
Oh, not you again.
Yeah.
It's a 4/4 again?
So is there a Dark Banishing in Dave Humphreys' list that he's going to dig for?
Does any of this matter? Yes, I suppose it does. He's dead. Next turn in more than one way, maybe? Clocks are getting very low. It does have Flample. The Greater Moss Dog has Flample. By the way, that's copyright Amanda Sharp.
Yeah.
She taught me that one last night.
Yes. Well, you were teaching her about
Omnix
Omnix lists.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, Flample.
Yeah.
Dave attacks.
And it's not looking good for Dave here. He's just dead, right?
He is. I can't imagine what he's paralyzed.
Which also would leave him dead.
Yeah. I think that is the no. Sprout Swarm.
Just a guild mage ability.
Oh, it's just the okay.
Right click, attack all.
Feels like okay.
And Dave goes to the bitter end, making the correct blocks, but also recognizing that he has lost. So, Community 4, Dave Humphreys and company 4 as well. So, Wizards and Community team tied that round. Wizards had the first 3 match wins booked,
Yeah.
but then the Community came back, and now they're sitting at 4-4.
Yeah, the
not what it's gonna take for Wizards to win this
needs
thing.
a sweep round.
Well, I mean, a couple of 5-3s would get there.
They got to chip away.
They're down 6.5 matches. So, I mean, if they just went 5-3 every round, they would only lose by half a match.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can chip away, but now there's only 5 matches left. So, they've definitely got to put up a big one, and they can't really afford to lose rounds.
Right. Yeah. So you see the players sort of casually, hi Scott, sort of casually hanging out there.
He's like,
waiting for their next round to come
how's my
up.
hair?
The community team felt pretty confident. Like I bumped into them at breakfast and was having a chat about yesterday with a few of them, and they seemed pretty focused, pretty calm. Maybe a little too confident. We'll see. Aaron Forsyth still recovering from A, the donut, and B, the beating that he got put on by Frank Lepore in that match. And Frank's now talking to him as well. He's like, hey, remember that one time when I didn't target your flag bearer twice and then killed you? That was sweet.
Now.
All right, let's send it down to the...
What is up, party peoples? Welcome back to day 2 of the Magic Online Community Cup. I'm Nate Price, and I am here with the fabulous Tom Ross. How's it going, Tom?
What's up, mate? Good. Good.
Awesome. Now, those of you out there might know Tom better as the Boss. So, how did you get the nickname the Boss?
It's all Brad Nelson. He coined it on me. He was doing coverage one time, and it was, well, just stuck, I guess.
I mean, I know multiple people who know you as Boss Ross. I don't even know if they know what your first name would be. I mean, they do now after back-to-back invitationals, Star City Games invitationals. Like, that's a fairly impressive, feat to say the least. I want to talk to you actually some about the method that got you here. Like, you were nominated by a lot of people in your local area, and you gained a lot of support. How did it feel to first find out that you got nominated, and then on top of that, that you just had that overwhelming upwelling of support behind you?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. My local game store, Rockets Hideout, they did a lot of nominating. They got the word out a lot. And then people really like the deck list that I write about, like the aggressive red decks, the budget, like modern decks. And a lot of people need that step to get into competitive Magic, like a cheaper but competitive deck. And that's my part in the community.
Awesome. Cool. Well, you've been here. You've had a full day of play, 1 round under your belt. What has been your favorite part about coming here to the Community Cup?
Well, Seattle's awesome. But I like beating all these Wizards employees.
So you've had the same 8 people that you've been battling all weekend long. Do you have one person or one match in particular that you just thoroughly enjoyed, giving them the business?
Well, I played Worth Whirlport twice, and he got Mana Screwed both times, so that's kind of justice.
Wait, did Worth lost to Mana Screw twice?
Mm-hmm. Could happen to anybody.
Yeah. Awesome. So we've got did you watch any of the Community Cup coverage last year?
No, I missed it. I looked at the deck list and stuff, but when it was streaming, I wasn't available.
Cool. So we've got the next event that comes up after we finish up this one here is the Cube draft with stipulations. So basically, you'll be drafting the Cube, and we're going to give you guys a series of things that you have to adhere to while you're either drafting your deck or you're building your deck. And the tends to lend itself to some fairly interesting moments in the course of that. Now, they usually break down into 2 different kinds of categories. There's stuff that directly impacts you that is something like you have to draft cards of a certain type. And there's another that is a judged category where you kind of get to be the person who says, well, like you have to draft the card that looks the most or sounds the most like a dog's name or something like that. So
Rock band or something.
Yeah, exactly. Would you rather be somebody who has to deal with the hard line stipulation, or would you rather be somebody who has to argue their case to a judge?
Oh, I'd rather just pick this by the book. If it says like the highest casting cost, then I'll just pick. Just make it easy for me. But there's so many unexpected things I don't even know how to speculate on. how we'll do or how to prepare for it.
Well, other than playing these, what's been your favorite part about getting together? You've got this awesome group of 7 people. You guys have spent a lot of time. You went on a tour of Seattle, rode the Ducks, which if you've never been on the Duck tour here in Seattle, it's a thing. What's been your favorite moment of all the time that you guys have gone through?
The Duck was sweet. The tour guide was really good. He just didn't stop talking for about an hour and a half. It was very entertaining. And just riding a vehicle that can go on land and water, it was kind of amazing.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. It looks like we're about ready to slide our way back into the second round of play today. So appreciate you taking the time, and we'll send it back. It's been me, Nate Price, talking with Tom Ross.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the booth. Brian David Marshall here with Pro Tour